Good evening, everyone. My name is Aaron Collins. This is another rendition of me addressing worldly issues in a godly way. I hope everyone had a blessed weekend. Have to forgive me for sounding a little bit slow and drawn. I just got through resting. Anyway, I never thought I would have to be talking about this type of subject matter again so soon. But it seems like that anytime when I want to stop talking about it, something always happens to bring me back into it. What I'm referring to is the police shooting of a 28-year-old young lady in Fort Worth, Texas, named Atatiana Jefferson. You know, the motto of police departments nationwide has always been to serve and protect. But that's not always the case, particularly when it comes to black citizens. I said this before in a past video of mine, but when it comes to the black community, the police department don't serve and protect. It's more like seek and destroy. Now, the ink is barely drawn. The ink is barely dried up on the whole Amber Geiger Botham John trial. And by the way, did I mention that this was in Fort Worth, Texas? Fort Worth is a city that's directly next door to Dallas. Collectively, they're known as the DFW Metroplex. I lived there for 15 years. But anyway, I said the ink is barely dried on that incident, and then you have this going on right next door. It's like Texas is a killing field for African Americans. It is, at least that part of Texas. And there doesn't seem to be any reprieve. This young lady was in her own home, and the police body cam footage shows the same, that she was in her own home. The officer was supposed to be conducting a welfare check that a neighbor who was only trying to help happened to call and asked to send someone to do a welfare check. And from what I understand, he actually called the police department's non-emergency number. He didn't call 911, he called the non-emergency number. They sent this officer, who was obviously a rookie because he's only been with the department for about a year. And from what we hear on the body cam footage and see, he's walking around and around the property. He sees someone looking out of a window, and what we hear is saying, "Show me your hands, show me your hands," from the officer, and then shots fired. It's like in rapid succession. Bottom line, basically, he shot into a closed house to know who was there. He just shot in there indiscriminately because he saw someone standing there looking at him. Someone looking through a curtain. Now, people are saying this, that should the neighbor hadn't called the police in the first place, this one would still be alive. Perhaps. Maybe he could have done something. Maybe he could have, maybe because he saw the door ajar of the woman's house, and maybe he could have done something like yelled out there and made sure she was okay. And maybe he just didn't want to go inside. Either way, the neighbor is very distraught. He feels really bad. All he wanted to do was help out, and it's understandable that either way though, another innocent black life is taken over misconduct from the police department. And I know it's going to be a lot of talk about forgiveness and hugging and stuff. Me, I'm a proponent. Well, I'm not going to even talk about me. This is about justice for Atatiana Jefferson. You see, this woman was once again in her own home, minding her own business. And from what I understand, she had her young nephew with her, a child. So let's see how the child is doing. Let's just say that he was standing there when he saw his aunt get shot. What's that going to do to him? Will he need psychological counseling? Will he be scarred for life? Will he be affected? Well, he will obviously be affected by this because he was there. And the thing that angers me is that I purposely, I personally don't think that these police departments are properly vetting these officers mentally. They get these cowboy cops who are trigger happy to begin with, and we already know they love using their favorite catchphrase, "I feared for my life." If you feared for your life so much, maybe you shouldn't be a damn police officer. Take your ass and go be a desk clerk or something at some corporate office or whatever, since you fear for your life that damn bad. Because, see, we're sick and tired of burying our loved ones from these officers. Yeah, I'm actually lashing out on this one because it angers me. It angers me a lot that this woman died. But anyway, you have these cops who are not properly vetted mentally. Now, they may pass some kind of written exam and whatever, but is the mental assessment, do they really go through that? From what it appears to be, no, they don't. A lot of these officers are steroided up and doped up on whatever themselves. And the issue is that these departments, to me, they're looking for someone to fill a uniform. They're looking for someone that they could put in a uniform and just put out on the street. Someone that they could, a way for them to buffer and increase their numbers. That's what they're doing. They're so concerned. They're more concerned about the body inside that uniform than the brain inside of the individual donning that uniform. That's what they're doing. That is what these departments are doing. And as a community, what we need to be doing, we need to be conducting our own independent reviews, because we're sick and tired of depending on the city council and what's that police organization, the Fraternal Order of Police and Internal Affairs. Because as far as I'm concerned, they're all in on it. So this officer is heard with body cam footage, and the body cam footage doesn't lie, heard saying in rapid succession, "Show me your hands, show me your hands." And before he even gives someone a chance to even show their hands, within seconds, he's opening fire. Oh, bang, bang, bang. Just like the situation in Cleveland, Ohio with Tamir Rice. Within 2 seconds, those officers opened fire on him, killing him instantly. So see, it's a seek and destroy mission when it comes to black life. But yet, statistically, it has been shown that white perpetrators who have been known to kill cops, who have been known to go open fire on entire classrooms, shopping malls, Walmart stores, city centers somehow manage to be apprehended alive. They somehow, and then they get coddled. They get their mental capacity, their childhood is brought up, how they had mental illnesses. One of the other things that they do, they vilify the victim when it's a black victim, trying to justify the reason why they died, because it was said that there was a gun found in her home. Well, in the state of Texas, it is legal to own a firearm. They checked they need to test it. I think they tested it and found that the firearm was not fired. It indeed was not fired or used. So far, this officer has been put on administrative leave, but that's not what we want. We don't want administrative leave. We want these officers gone indefinitely. How many more times do we have to put up with the Amber Geigers, the Daniel Pantaleos, Jason Van Dykes, Beatty Shelby's, Darren Wilson's, and George Zimmerman's of the world before we decide and make up in our minds that enough is enough? What's it going to take? And I really pray and hope that the city of Fort Worth does not sweep this under the rug. I hope they don't decide to get on the stage or go to court and hug this killer cop. I said it. These killer cops. They're nothing more but murderers that are licensed to wear badges. Licensed and qualified to seek out, hunt, and destroy black life. I stated earlier that a year or two ago I did a video about how when it comes to the black community, the police department has a big game hunter mentality. That mentality still persists today. It is still going on today in these officers' heads. They're not properly vetted. And then they also put these officers in our communities. They don't put officers that are from our communities. But you know what? That's something we don't need. We need to be doing that. We don't need to be depending on them to do that. See, this all stems from the reactive attitude that the black community has collectively. It's time to be proactive. It's time to prevent things like this from happening before they start to happen. When we see the signs, the telltale signs, that's when we need to get involved. We need to conduct our own interview. We need to conduct our own research. We need to go back to the days of community policing. But I wanted to say this, though. It sounds like what I'm saying is falling on deaf ears. Only time will tell what kind of action we take as a community. We, yes, I do mean we. Myself included. When do we stop burying our loved ones? When do we be there for our children in our communities? When are we as black men gonna actually man up and protect our communities? Like, comment, share this video, follow this channel, let me know what you think. Hit the bell icon to be notified when I drop more videos. Support the channel at paypal.me/The Real Aaron Collins, as well as patreon.com/The Real Aaron Collins. And let's just get this going. Enough talking. Now it's time for some action. It's time for some strategy. It's time for some real results. So God loves you. I love you. Let's do life.